American Revolution was from 1775 to 1783. The battle was fought between Britain and its colonies in the Americas. So what exactly led to the American Revolution? It began with the Proclamation of 1763. There were also the acts, like the Sugar Act, the Quartering Act, the Stamp Act, the Tea Act, and later the Boston Massacre, and even later the Boston Tea Party. But I'm sure Garachi will cover all of this, so let's move on. So we all know that the war was fought between Britain and its colonies, but what were the advantages and disadvantages of each? Britain's advantages included their population size, their money, their naval support, and their Native American support. So Britain's disadvantages included Ireland, which they had an ongoing dispute with, the French, who were ready to stab Britain's back at any moment, and the Whigs. Colonies' disadvantages included their poorly organized army, which had no idea what unity was, the increasing amounts of sectionalism and jealousy between the colonies, and their ongoing economic difficulties. Because of the disunity between the colonies, ads like this one were seen at the time to try to join the colonies in a fight against the British. The American advantages include their leadership, like Benjamin Franklin, who was a master among diplomats. The Americans were also able to fight defensively, which meant they could fight on their own territory. There was also a huge chance for foreign aid from France. The Americans also enjoyed the moral advantage that came from the belief in a just cause. But their biggest advantage was none other than George Washington, who led the Americans towards victory. The first battle was the Battle of Lexington and Concord, which was fought on April 1775. British sent troops to capture colonial gunpowder and capture rebel leaders Samuel Adams and John Hancock. The first shot was called the Shot Heard Around the World, and it began the war. The second battle was the Battle of Fort Ticonderoga. Here, Benedict Arnold, Ethan Allen, and his Green Mountain Boys set out to overthrow the fort. The British were surprised and captured by the Americans. The Americans won this battle. The third battle was the Battle of Bunker Hill. Here, Americans were able to push back the British. But once gunpowder finally gave out, they were forced to abandon the hill in disorder. The Patriots surrendered, but they also inflicted many casualties on the British. The fourth battle was the Battle of Quebec. American troops planned to attack at night during a snowstorm, but their attack was unsuccessful due to an alert garrison. The British won this battle. In 1776, two important documents were released. The first was Common Sense, written by Thomas Paine. It called for American colonists to support revolution. The next was the Declaration of Independence. It declared their independence from Britain. The fifth battle was the Battle of Trenton. On December 25th, Washington and his men crossed the Delaware River in a snowstorm. Washington was victorious and defeated the British and their Hessian mercenaries. The sixth battle was the Battle of Saratoga. This battle was a turning point for the American patriots. After this battle, the French finally agreed to help the Americans fight the British. The seventh battle of the American Revolution was the Battle of Charleston. It was the British's second attempt to capture the city. The British succeeded, and this battle was the worst loss for the Patriots during the war. The Battle of Yorktown was the final battle of the war. The French Navy helped General George Washington and his army by blocking the harbor. The British were forced to surrender. By blocking the harbor, the Americans and the French defeated the British. This was the very end of the war. By the Treaty of Paris of 1783, the British formally recognized the independence of the United States. The war was officially over.